Well, welcome to the fluoro lit part of my desk where it's all flashy. This is the workshop. We have a machine here that runs this laser cutter here, and it runs Windows 7. And it's been running off a mechanical hard drive. It's as slow as a wet month, but there's not many other bits of hardware that work with this. I did at one point try and make my original workstation, which is Dell T3500, with a reasonable amount of RAM in it. I did try and make that run this laser, but could not get it to work. However, I'm going to try and clone the operating system off the mechanical hard drive into this onto an SSD, which is now surplus. I also have a video card that might work better than this MSI that has actual problems, so we might make it work. Crucially, this still has floppy and IDE connections on it that will allow me to plug in the old IDE. Oh no, this one's a SATA mechanical drive. So, either way, we can still plug in both drives into this and do the clone on that hardware, which should make it work. We have to piece a few things back together first. Hopefully when this is all said and done, this machine will be retired and this machine can run the laser cutter. Let's see how we go. Alright, first order of duty is we're going to swap out this old video card, and we're going to leave it on this shelf because it gets it up out of the way. Now, there is a duct for the RAM cooling. I think I have robbed some RAM sticks out of this. No, we have all the RAM sticks in there. That's good. There we go. There's that one. This one has a problem on one of the outputs, and it doesn't quite work right. This one we know does work. I've just tested it in my apprentice's machine. Okay. Plonk you into that slot. Okay. Now, do we have... Oh, that's right. We need twin power connectors for... Alright, I've plugged some power in. Fans on the video card are spinning at least. That's a good sign. I want to know if we have a picture first. We have RAM light. Things are all lining up. This is the video lead here, and it is connected in here. Let's see if we can switch the input. Analog digital, I guess. Digital is what it's going to be. So no picture yet, maybe not enough power. Now we need to go find a P8 and P9 plug. Okay, after some rummaging around I found this. Okay, we have a picture now. That's good. It did work. Looks a little Frankenstein, but that's this whole thing. So amount of system memory has changed. That's perfectly fine. I don't have a keyboard plugged into it. Anyway, that's fine. Let's get a few other things moved over now. Okay, now it's time to remove this one. I forget how this stupid bracket works. I think you can pull this out and it should just slide out. There are a couple of clips here that with arrows next to them. That might be a giveaway. Okay. That seems to be the trick. Following little clips. Alright, in the spirit of jank, we're going to take an Allen key and shove it in the middle of this. And that should undo it. Just tried to make things easy and just made it more difficult. There's our hard drive. Okay, we can take... Now, this is supposed to fold out and fold back in and clip in. Because of the position of the power connectors on that video card, that will never happen again. Doesn't really matter. I'm never putting the sides on this again because I think the side's missing. I gave it away with a whole bunch of other computer stuff to a couple of local kids that wanted to learn about computers. But before we can do that, we have these stupid little Torx screws that were used as mounting holes. Need to remove them first. Okay, now these are these are the easy brackets. You just slot the little pins in the holes and it should, with luck, all just clip straight back in. And then we can take our SSD, which is probably on this little board that big in there. We can plug you in and you in, and we can flap that around all day and not worry about it. Now, I am astounded to learn, and it makes me feel very old, that there is an entire generation, and some of these people are adults and living with a job, that don't know what a CD or a DVD is. I am still coming to adjust to the fact that people don't know where save icons come from either. Thing that fell on the floor before I pulled the front panel off. It was a receiver for the keyboard and mouse. Let's plug that in. Okay, now we're ready to try stuff. Let's turn the power on. See if we can catch the boot interrupt. I think F12 on these Dell BIOSes is the boot interrupt. Preparing one-time boot menu. There we go. Okay, and that should allow us to boot from USB CD-ROM drive. Okay, not USB floppy drive. Let's do that. It's not USB CD-ROM, but let's just try it anyway. Okay, system battery voltage is low. That's fine, we'll put a new BIOS battery in it later. Guess we'd better go setup and see if we have a drive in here. Let's have a look at our drives. So RAID's on. Yeah, if RAID is on, SATA is configured for RAID every boot. That's not what we want. So we probably want ATA mode because the old drive was operating in legacy boot mode. So smart reporting, we definitely want smart status on. I don't know why that's off. They're right, the BIOS battery has gone flat. Let's go drives. All the SATA ports were turned off. Let's turn them on. So our drive ID here, DVD-ROM drive is on SATA 2. So we'll turn SATA 2 on. They're on, so let's just turn all of these on. It'll throw some errors when we first boot, but we will turn the rest off as we need it. So let's do apply there. One-time boot menu. This should hopefully see onboard, SATA hard drive, USB device, USB CD-ROM. Why is it not seeing the CD-ROM? That's annoying. Alright, old CR232 out, brand new one going back in. Alright, so while I was in there changing the battery, discovered a couple of SATA leads were disconnected, and I moved the CD-ROM along to SATA number 2. USB or floppy, it's USB device. It's not seeing it at all now. So let's go system setup.
2 hours later.
Okay, temporary fix. We're plugging in a known working drive. Alright, now we see an onboard USB or CD-ROM drive. Let's try that. I think the drive was knackered. Failed to detect one or more drives during post. That's the error we talked about because we've got SATA ports enabled and not in use. Continue anyway because we're going to rearrange things. Select boost device not available. So nothing in that. Alright, third DVD-ROM later, we actually have it working. So it was the DVD-ROM that was some of the issues. We did resort to getting the USB stick, but I remember this doesn't work very well with the USB stick. So we want true image here. Let's let that load and we'll be back. All the King's horses and all the King's USB sticks could not get it to boot. Alright, now we're in here. We're going to go tools and utilities. We're going to do clone disk. Automatic, yes, figure it all out for me. So we want to go, we've got to be careful here. So we want to go from the Seagate to the Kingston. Yes, that looks right. Okay. Not very much on there, should fit into, even though it's a 1 terabyte drive, should fit plenty into 256 gig. Alright, we don't want to put it on a memory stick, we want to put it on that drive. Chosen, contains partitions, got useful data, yes we know, we can wipe all that out, that's fine. We already have all that data. Not going to have a lot of room left by the time we're done, but we can fix that. There's some stuff I can delete. So, 15 minutes later, we're discovering that shingled drives are slow. Nothing new there. Right, about half an hour later, we are successful. So let's shut things down and we can do a test on the laser cutter after this. Okay, so from somewhere, we're booting into FreeDOS. I don't actually know what's going on here. Look what was hiding in the back. That might have been what was screwing me up. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, I'd forgotten at some point I used it to back up some data, so I plugged DOS into it. Now we'll find out if AHCI mode or ATA mode is what we need. Whether it continues to boot or whether it gets stuck in a boot loop. Yeah, it's going to stuck in a boot loop, so we'll change it back to ATA mode. Okay, we're back here. We're going to go to SATA operation, change it to ATA mode, And reboot. Alright, now we're looking like it might actually work. Let's see. Are we going to reboot? Maybe. Not sure. Yeah, I might not like some of the hardware. Yeah, it's going to get stuck in a reboot loop. Alright, in the meantime, I think we need to... let's start the repair, see if we can fix anything. Otherwise, in the meantime, we're going to put the other one back together just in case. Oh, startup repair works. That's nice. Alright, let's see what happens. Otherwise, I have a tool that might fix this anyway. Alright, this drive's going to go back in here. It's been a long time since I've seen computer cases with extra screws on the front. And check this out. They've got a whole bunch of spares just sitting here. What we're going to do, we're going to boot the old machine up, which is just a bit noisier, and see what its boot settings are. Okay, so this is running in compatible mode, so I'm not sure if it's in PATA or SATA mode. That could be interesting. Okay, for the short term, we're going to plug the SSD into the original hardware. We're going to keep our mechanical drive as a backup. We're going to fire that up. At least we'll have a working setup that can run the laser for now. And after that, then we'll work on the other hardware. I'm starting to run out of time to make this work today, but we've made some big inroads. Oh no! We've lost our registration. Oh no! We'll figure that out in a minute. I know how to do that.